You ever have one of those days where you wake up thinking you're just going to patch up a leaky faucet and end up declaring war on half your county before breakfast? Yeah, that was me. And if you'd told me 5 years ago, I'd be that guy with a no trespassing sign and a reputation for making HOA presidents sweat, I'd have laughed you out the door. My name's Logan Reeves, 42 X-Force Recon Marine, and let me tell you, you haven't seen real combat until you've tried defending your little patch of peace from a swarm of suburban entitlement with a barbecue grill and a clipboard. See, after 3 tours and a career that left me with more scars than souvenirs, all I wanted was quiet trees, a pond, the kind of silence that makes you believe there's still good left in the world. When my Uncle Jim passed, he left me his 6-acre slice of heaven. Not much thick woods, a spring-fed pond, a cabin that needed more help than I did after basic, but it was mine. I sold off just about everything, said goodbye to city noise, and spent every dime and drop of sweat making that place a sanctuary. Rewired it, rebuilt the dock, sanded down every board till my hands bled. Out there I found something you can't buy: real independence. My uncle hated HOAs, pink flamingos, and neighbors who cared too much about lawn edges, so I honored him the only way I knew how. I put up clear signs, private property, no trespassing, no exceptions. Not trying to be a jerk, just making it clear where my peace started and their rules ended. The closest neighbors, the folks down at Whispering Pines, they kept their distance. Cookie-cutter houses, identical fences, the kind of HOA that probably debated how rebellious a tan mailbox could be. We nodded in passing at the gas station, nothing more until the day I came home and found my world invaded. It was one of those muggy August Saturdays, air thick as soup, truck bed full of supplies, and a thermos of coffee strong enough to peel paint. I come over the rise by my pond and slam the brakes tense. 4 of them, big ones, coolers, grills, folding chairs, kids in my water, adults acting like they'd rented the whole view. 2 trucks parked smack on my grass, a banner hanging off my pine tree, Whispering Pines. HOA Family Camp Day. I just sat in my truck for a minute, dog growling, thinking maybe I'd finally lost it. Maybe I'd stumbled into some weird HOA-themed prank show. But no, these folks looked way too comfortable for that. I walked down, trying to stay calm, when this guy in a tucked-in polo and khaki shorts, the kind of guy who irons his socks, waves like I'm the help. "Hey there, you must be the caretaker. Can you bring more trash bags over here?" I just stare. "This is my land." He laughs. I kid you not. Turns to the woman beside him. Sunglasses big as saucers. Attitude even bigger. And says, "He thinks this is his land." I point to my sign, "Private property, legally binding. You're trespassing. Pack it up." The woman rolls her eyes. "Oh, come on, this pond's always been a community spot. We've used it every summer." I clench my jaw. "Not anymore. This is parcel 2AE1B. Check the records. My uncle owned it. Now I do. You're not just trespassing, you're damaging private land." Then some guy nearby flip-flops fishing hat phone out, starts filming. This guy's going off on families. "It's public land, dude. It's on the map. It's not public," I say, voice getting louder. "And unless you want to meet the sheriff, you need to leave. Now." That's when the polo guy steps in. Fake smile stretching. "I'm Greg Summers, president of the Whispering Pines Homeowners Association. Our community survey says this is a green access area, shared use." I can barely keep from laughing. Means your HOA can't read a plat map or doesn't care. "You've got 5 minutes, Greg. Then I'm making calls." He folds his arms. "We've done this for years." Well, I'm saying something now. "Start packing." Of course, he just grins at his people, acting like I'm the crazy one. I don't call the cops, not yet. I call my 3 best friends, ex-military, know how to stand their ground. "Got a situation. Bring your brains, not your barrels." They're on their way before I even hang up. While I wait, I record everything: license plates, faces, tents, Even the dirt bike some teenagers using to dig up my freshly seeded grass. Greg swaggers over again with a rolled-up document. No need for drama. He says, here's our HOA map. The thing's got fake written all over it. Wrong seal-type signature, parcel number matches my deed. You're handing me forged documentation, I tell him, calm as I can manage. He shrugs. That's a serious accusation. You're damn right. He puffs up. Our legal team's experienced. Feel free to call the county. 5 minutes later, my friends pull in Grim Joel Trey. They fan out quiet, just documenting. Greg strolls over, trying to act big. Are you guys private security? Trey just stares. Grim keeps filming. Greg snorts. I'm calling the sheriff, reporting armed individuals harassing families. You do that, I say, and he does, full of righteous HOA fury. While we wait, I fire up my wildlife deterrent system ultrasonic buzzers in the brush. Within minutes, every kid's rubbing their ears. Adults start looking green. I pump nutrient-rich silt from the pond bottom. Water turns brown, algae blooms, folks start packing up. Sheriff's cruisers roll up, and there's Lieutenant O'Brien. Good guy, we go back a ways. Greg's waving his forged map, shouting, he's threatening families. O'Brien ignores him, comes right to me. Logan, you good. I hand him the HOA paper, then my deed map, satellite overlays, notarized, legal, the works. He whistles, turns to Greg. Sir, unless you can prove otherwise, you're trespassing. And if this document's fake, that's a crime. Greg loses it. We've used this for years. O'Brien just says years of trespassing don't create ownership. You all need to leave. That's an order. The split happens fast. Some folks bolt, others dig in. Greg flailing around with his fake map, ranting about community rights. O'Brien checks with dispatch county records, back me up. No easement, no access. Greg refuses to budge demands to file a complaint about paramilitary intimidation. O'Brien just shakes his head. Those men haven't threatened anyone. You, on the other hand, just filed a false emergency report. That's a chargeable offense. Suddenly, Greg's not so smug. By sunset, they're gone. Tents, trucks, banners snapped by the wind. Only trash and tire ruts left behind. But the next morning, there's a white F-250 at my gate, 2 guys in tactical polos setting up a checkpoint. We've been hired by the HOA for security patrol, clipboard guy says. I let him know, real polite. This isn't a community pond. You're trespassing. He shrugs, drops an authorized access sign right in my dirt. I deadpan. You just put up a restriction sign on someone else's land. They pack up when I mention lawyers. I call my attorney, Carol Baines, former JAG, ice cold. She says, send everything. We document it all. File a formal notice of violation, certified letter to the HOA, unauthorized security obstruction, continued harassment. Their response: dead silence. But I know that kind of silence, it's just a reload. 4 days later, round 3 flyers everywhere advertising a family freedom picnic at my pond. Greg's turned this into a PR war. Me versus happy families and food trucks. Sunday morning, I watch on cameras as vans, trucks, sound systems, and inflatable kayaks roll in before sunrise. I don't confront them. I make calls, lawyer, zoning, health, fire marshal, environmental compliance, and my buddy at the local paper. By 10 a.m., the party's in full swing. Kids in my pond band murdering Leonard Skinner BBQ grease dumped on my bank. Officials roll in by noon, health department, fire marshal, deputies, not to arrest, but to inspect. Turns out you need permits for events over 50 people, food licenses, sanitation, and surprise permission from the landowner. Grills shut down. Warning stickers everywhere. Citations issued. EPA on the scene. Local reporter streams the whole mess on Facebook Live. HOA event shut down after violating property rights. By the time the sun sets, the only thing left is trash, a stray piñata, and Greg's dignity in pieces. I don't celebrate, I document. By night, I've got 23 gigs of footage, every violation backed up 3 ways. Carol files a cease and desist, citing every code, every violation, and warning of litigation if they set foot again. I watch Greg open that letter on my trail cam, hands, shaking eyes, reading every line like it might bite him. And then the twist, not from Greg, but from inside. John Ramirez, the only guy who picked up trash at the BBQ, comes to my gate. Greg's losing people, he says. Some of us want him gone. Turns out Greg faked the whole community access thing, didn't ask, the board didn't even hold a vote. Linda McGrath, ex-secretary, tells me he's been pushing for rezoning, faking documents, acting alone. Fast forward court day. I walk in with my lawyer, a flash drive, and a file thick enough to stun an ox. Judge Rohr doesn't play. Carol presents the deeds, maps, drone footage, affidavits, even a forensic analysis of Greg's fake map. Judge grills Greg. Did you present this as legal documentation? He chokes out a yes. Carol moves for injunctive relief damages and fraud investigation. Greg's out. County drops the fraud case if he leaves the board forever. Whispering Pines gets a new president, John, who sends me a formal apology and a bulletproof boundary agreement. Linda brings muffins and old emails. I have my pond back, and this time the whole county knows whose name is on the deed. We close it out the right way, small cookout by the water, just friends and good food. O'Brien's famous cornbread, assigned by the gate, private land protected by law, history, and the Marines. I stand at the water's edge, scout at my feet, fireflies dancing, and for the first time in years, it's quiet again, and truly mine. Now tell me, where do you draw the line between standing your ground and letting things slide? When do you fight, and when do you just let them talk? Drop your story or your opinion down below. And if you ever tangled with an HOA or just believe property rights still mean something, hit that subscribe, share your tale, and keep your powder dry. You never know when your peace and quiet might need a little defending.